Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want to appreciate you so much because of your great support. I've been not there for 2 days, and I want to appreciate you so much because of your great support. For those who have reached out to me and asking me where I've been, I'm back fully energetic, and I want to appreciate you so much for the kindness and the support that you're continuing in this channel. Today, I have a video here where Ndindi Nyoro and John Mbadi, they were in interview at NTV. And when you look at the truth of the matter, Ndindi Nyoro is coming out to expose his boss William Ruto without knowing. When I was just listening to the argument in between John Mbadi and Ndindi Nyoro, when look at the very crucial and complex issues that are being dealt with when it comes to the economy of the Republic of Kenya, you will realize that Ndindi Nyoro never had something to come out to tell Kenyans about their borrowing, and also when it comes to stabilizing the economy of the Republic of Kenya. And I was just shocked because he is a man that always defending William Ruto. But in reality, he has come out to understand that truly him as a leader, Kenyans are passing a very kind of hard times. And the reality is the economy has not been stabilized. At the same time, the taxes are there, and they have increased taxes left, right, center. At the same time, they are borrowing. The same Ndindi Nyoro, who is coming out to deny that they have not borrowed. William Ruto has borrowed more even at that period he has taken the office than Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta that period he took the office from Mwai Kibaki. So this is whatever Ndindi Nyoro came out saying. I want you to listen, then you give your judgment.
And I can assure Kenyans, because I may not say we are winding up, it has been bumpy. I agree, because I'm also a leader. I am also a Kenyan. It has been bumpy in terms of prices of commodities. It has been bumpy in so many parameters around the economy. But I want to assure Kenyans that we should have a ray of optimism. We have been able to cover a lot of what was danger point for us, and I am certain that we are now taking off, and we'll be back in this show when we are celebrating.
Your final thoughts. And what would you tell Kenyans who are feeling the pinch and the pressure of taxes and the economy in general, whatever it is that has happened, what would you say as a party?
They elected their own government. Now, I want to stay with figures for a second. March to September, 6 months before you came into office, Uhuru Kenyatta borrowed 300 billion. Those 6 months. From September to March, another 6 months, when you are in office, you borrowed 690 billion shillings. That cannot be reduced borrowing. The figures are there. This is what I would want you people to do as Kenya Kwanza. Because there is too much pressure on the dollar, find a way of renegotiating international loans. Because we have a problem.
Okay.
If you don't do it, please stop pretending that we can manage this economy at the rate which we are going.
Somebody.
My final
yes,
cutting shot.
It is this.
Yes.
Are things going to get better or going to get worse? That camera.
How can it get better? Let's not pretend.
Things are going to get worse.
This turbulence is taking too long. Land.
Okay.
I want you to land. This government should land. We are tired of being told that the turbulence.
Body, and you know this for a fact, any signal you give around renegotiating debt, the international market interprets that as default.
No.
We cannot take Kenya to that level.
We are now not borrowing from the commercial market. We are borrowing from the multinational.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, multilateral loans
lastly,
can never
the figures you quoted around borrowing.
Yes.
You were skeptical with the truth. You were cherry picking.
Why?
If you wanted to compare borrowing,
are these not
borrowing between June and June. Why? Financial year starts from June to the other June.
No, I just
when you talk about figures of the monies that we have borrowed to fund the budget that you created in the last handshake regime, and you want to blame it on us, Yes, we may not want to throw blames, but that is the fact.
From September to March, there was no handshake regime. It was your regime.
In March of this year.
Which budget was it funded? Stop misleading Kenyans.
No, honorable.
Which budget? Who forced you to implement that budget? When you come into office and you find that a budget cannot be implemented, the first thing you do is to withdraw the budget.
Did we do that? Did you reduce the deficit?
And you still borrowed. Which deficit? And you borrowed the money. I'm giving you the figures. Give me contradicting figures to what I've given you. You have been borrowing
from June to June.
If you wanted they are still far much less.
Reason because
if anything,
when you have a deficit,
Mheshimiwa Ndindi,
yes,
you have been around for a while.
Yes.
You know very well that borrowings are always more towards the end of the financial year.
Exactly the point.
Now, Uhuru's regime have given you the end of financial year. It was lower than yours beginning of the year.
Gentlemen,
so what are you telling me?
The end of the financial year was June this year.
No, what I'm saying, your beginning of the year was worse than Uhuru's end of financial year.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have been borrowing too much.
Ndindi, hustlers, that camera.
Hustlers versus dynasty, that's what I'm saying. Or you're talking about the parting shot?
Yes. We have to leave.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, sorry, we are
more of a dynasty than me.
Please, let's take us
Honorable
10 seconds.
Yes, 10 seconds.
That is whatever Ndindi Nyoro is coming out to say. But again, when it comes to the issue of the borrowing, he doesn't want to come out to accept that they have already borrowed. It is like Ndindi Nyoro is covering their government so that Kenyans should not understand that at the same time, the taxation is so high, at the same time, they are borrowing. So the question is, at the same time, you're fighting for the borrowing to be reduced. At the same time, the taxes are so high to maintain that the borrowing should not continue. At the same time, according to the budget you read the other time, of course, this finance bill, they have a deficit of billions of money. So something that this government is confusing Kenyans is you are borrowing, at the same time you're telling Kenyans that you're not borrowing. You are trying to fight to reduce the deficit of your budget, and still it is difficult. Money that you're borrowing, we don't know what you're doing with. There are high taxation. The money you're getting, we don't know what you're doing with it. You're just there and telling Kenyans lies. At the same time, you must understand about this government. They are so eloquent when it comes to the issue of stabilizing the economy, which it is so hard for them. So the reality is, when you look at the statements of Ndindi Nyoro, is coming out to accept these failures without knowing that they have already failed, because you cannot come out to complain to Kenyans at your taxes hakuna, lakini munaongeza taxation. Leo nimesoma a certain news tukiambiwa that KRA, they have not met their revenue collection, the target. They have not reached the target. So it is clear that this government is still having a big problem, because at the same time mnakopa, taxes ziko juu, huku mnadanganya Wakenya mboro. So in reality is that they are borrowing too much than even during the regime of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the last time, or the last moment of him in office. So I think the only thing that Kenya Kwanza is having is a clear indication that they have proved to us that they are failing and they have nothing to do with it. The same people who came out saying that they are knowledgeable on how to stabilize the economy, they're coming now out dumped. They don't have any idea, and their issues is just to complain. Oh, it is the fight between dynasty and the hustlers. At the same time, they are the dynasty at the same time coming out to complain on behalf of Kenyans. So the argument was so good to understand that truly William Ruto's government, they don't have an idea. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Drop your opinion at the comment section below. Otherwise, I want to appreciate you so much because of great support. Please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing this video.